What is up? Today is September 27th, 2013. Um, it's been a while. I realized that at the beginning of the month I was a year and a half on T, which is kind of cool. But that is not what I want to talk about now. What I want to talk about is this class I'm in called The Psychology of Sex Differences. Now, I just started this class, so obviously I don't know everything, but I'm having a really hard time trying to figure out exactly where I fit in to this class. It's an online class, so I can't really. Well, I think I'm going to try anyway, but I can't go in and talk to the professor per se. She is a professor I've had in previous years. I don't think she knows I'm trans, though, so that should be pretty funny. But I do want to talk to her because I'm just. I can't figure out where I fit into this class. Because I think, as much as I'd like to say I am just, I just mail, everything. So I'm looking around for a textbook. As much as I would like to say I just fit in straight to that category, I cannot say that. I can't. Even though this class is called the psychology of sex differences, I'm pretty sure it should be called the sociology of sex differences because it says most of the differences between the sexes are not biological, they're learned, which kind of makes me feel like more sociology than psychology. But maybe they'll go into more individualistic type stuff, and I don't know. Maybe you can't completely separate sociology from psychology. But yeah, so this is one of our textbook. It's called The New Male Sexuality, and I realize I don't know anything really about the male sexuality. I know about my sexuality. I know um, I don't know. I want to say generally I kind of know, but I don't, um, because I don't know. I just I don't know. I feel like I don't have as much um, information about that than I should. I can't relate to information on Viagra because that's not something I'll use. Um, and it's just I don't know. It's really interesting. There is something I did want to outline for you guys, though. I think I've come to the conclusion. Well, me and I guess the lecturer, because there's these lectures that you have to listen to. So I was listening to one of my lecture, and this person who is lecturing is a guy, from what I can tell by his voice. But he says that the most successful people in society are actually androgynous. He said first of all, we hear the word androgynous all the time, but apparently andro means man, genie means woman, androgyny together. I didn't see that before, so I thought that was cool. But apparently, there's like a spectrum type thing. Now, normally you think spectrum like male female spectrum, masculinity, femininity spectrum. This is a different spectrum. It goes two ways, so it goes kind of like this way and like this way. So it's kind of like a grid, I guess you could say. And on this spectrum, on the high end is loving and sensitive, and on the far end is hostile and insensitive. And then the other one that goes this way up here is, independent slash autonomous slash, all that stuff. And then down here, sorry, I gotta keep it on the screen. There we go. On here is passive. Now, from his research, not from his research, well, he kind of noticed in this spectrum that at this corner right here, which is high in autonomy or independence, and low in sensitive in this quadrant, that is where men normally are categorized or put. Now, On the other hand, down here, you have the category that's high on loving and sensitive, but low in autonomy, um, aka independence, again. So, and that's normally where women are situated. Now, the best place to be situated, I guess, is neither one of these quadrants. It's actually this quadrant right here, which is high in autonomy and high in loving and sensitiveness. Now, society treats men and women very differently. So, they train men to be less sensitive and more autonomous. Um, so, men typically don't go into that category. And women are kind of trained, even if it's not said directly in society, women are trained to be more passive, and more sensitive and loving, so they're in this quadrant, not in that one either. But the androgynous person would be in that quadrant. Now, this quadrant's not really important. I don't want to call it not important. It's kind of like the neurotic one, where you're hostile and insensitive and passive, so you're just kind of like the worst of both worlds. But this quadrant, the androgynous quadrant, that's the best of both worlds, is is what is said to be the perfect combination of male and female roles. Now, you may find it interesting that they did a couple studies on this, kind of like experiment type thing. Sorry, I'm like looking through my notes right now because I have them in front of me. But they were told to rate cartoons, and they had one cartoon that at the end that was just not funny. And when you went to rate your cartoon, you had to say it out loud, and there was a group of people around, and all those people were like Confederates, which is what you call someone who's part of the study. So they look like they're a participant, but they're not actually. They're actually part of it. And they showed this commercial that was not funny at all, and had all the Confederates, rate it really high to see who would conform. Now, they found that the people who conformed the most were the women. And that's because I can pinpoint many studies that they did that where they found women were more likely to conform, because that's what society tells women to do, pretty much. But the men and the androgynous people were more likely to object to that and say, well, actually, I didn't think it was that funny, and, that kind of thing. Now, on the flip side, they did another experiment where they had people just talk. One person was the talker, one person was the listener. Now, the listener was always the participant, and the talker was always the Confederate. And they had the Confederate, the talker, rate who was a better listener. And they found, surprisingly, that the men were rated lower, and the women and the androgynous people were rated higher. So I think this class is really putting in perspective the benefits of being trans. Now, I know that sounds bad. Benefits. Come on, who would choose to be? Nobody chooses to be trans. But I feel like we come from this angle that it's in the top quadrant. We are, especially as trans guys, we are socialized as, women at the beginning. We're socialized to be passive. To be emotional, to be attuned, to be all these things. And then when we but when we, start our transition, we start, getting into the male world, feeling the male power and all the male, things that go along with that. But we still take with us this sensitive aspect, I want to say. I can't speak for everyone, obviously. And I know testosterone definitely decreases the amount of sensitive you can be. I know after I started testosterone, crying was different, feeling is different. I can't really describe emotions anymore. I've got two, anger and horniness, which is pretty consistent according to these notes. But I just wanted to outline that for you guys on here so you can kind of, I don't know, look optimistic at your transition. I know there's many times and I will admit this, that I think to myself, like, I am done with this trans thing. I just want to be a guy, and I just want to get on with my life. Like, today I have to do my T-shot, because it's a Friday, and I really don't want to stick a needle in my leg, because it's not fun, and everything that goes along with that. But at the same time, I look at my past, and look at what I've taken with me from that past, and it's really encompassing. I feel like I've really gotten a lot out of life, because of being trans, because I see the world in a different way, because I blank, fill in the blank. But I just wanted to outline that for you, all you followers out there. I don't have many, but that's okay. I love you guys. I just wanted to be wary of that. Even if you're in that stage where you still don't pass all the time and it really sucks, keep in mind that even as an androgynous person, like, people will rate you higher. You're more situated in that quadrant now, and that's surprisingly a good place to be, according to research. So, all of you people who are watching and are trans of some sort, I give you an A plus. You're an awesome person, because according to this research, you're an awesome person. The best people are androgynous, so clearly, yeah, that's what it is. All you cis people, I'm sure you're great too. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, because there's a lot of times I really wish I wasn't trans, but at the same time, you know, it's a different world, it's a different view, and you will contribute something, and you can contribute more maybe than your cis counterparts. So keep that in mind as you go along. I guess that's it though. Running out of time here. So bye.